story that the whole of the country has been really hooked to. The reason because it involves the death of a young, bright life. Unlucky in love could have proved to be fatal in the case of Tunisha. The life of a young star with a budding career ahead of her, but snuffed out in a cruel twist of fate. It's been 4 days since Tunisha allegedly took her life, and the police are still trying to piece together the circumstances which pushed her to take this extreme step. Her former boyfriend and co-star Sheezan, accused of abetment to suicide, has been grilled by the police for the last 4 days. Now, the key to cracking the case seems to be Sheezan's secret girlfriend. Well, the top police sources reveal that Sheezan was in a relationship with another girl, which had led to this breakup with Tunisha. Now, the police have managed to access his mobile data, which adds a new twist to the case. Interestingly, Sheezan had deleted his chats with his mystery girl, which may have been a bit to hide the relationship that the police have written to the WhatsApp now to try and retrieve some of this chat history that he had with the girl. Now, even as Tunisha's mother, remember, she has been very openly speaking about this mystery girlfriend. In fact, Times Now's even managed to access the FIR, which has been lodged by Meghna Sharma. She reveals the pain and the trauma that Tunisha allegedly suffered after Sheezan allegedly broke up with her for another girl. In fact, the FIR says, I'm going to read out some of the excerpts of the FIR. Sheezan had visited her house 2 to 3 times. He told me that he loves Tunisha. Then the mother says that Tunisha said that Sheezan had then broken up with her. Tunisha came home crying after meeting Sheezan. Sheezan was in a relationship with another girl, which is the reason, cites the mother. She goes on to say that she was heartbroken after Sheezan broke up with Tunisha over this other girl. Tunisha, she goes on to say, had a panic attack on the 16th of December as well. And Tunisha asked me to talk to Sheezan to patch up. Sheezan said he doesn't love Tunisha anymore. This is what the mother has said in the FIR that she has filed. Now, we've spoken to Tunisha's friends. They too reveal how she seemed to be just unlucky in love. In fact, she had confided in them about another girl in Sheezan's life as well. Listen in.
Tunisha was always unlucky in love और मुझे बहुत अफसोस है कि वो इतनी यंग एज में चली गई at the age of 20. मुझे एक वाक्या याद आया जहाँ पे हम लोग रिहर्सल्स कर रहे थे और उन्होंने मुझे बताया कि वो किसी को लाइक.
Now, we've managed to access Sheezan's remand copy. Remember, he has been accused of abetment. It's important for us to try and look as to can a case of abetment be made out for Sheezan, given that he has been so very evasive about all of this. So let's remind you of some of the past legal precedents as well when it comes to abetment. Well, you had the Madhya Pradesh High Court, and this is just recently. They said that words which are spoken in anger is not abetment of suicide. Then you had the Supreme Court in October earlier this year said acts of accused must be proximate to the occurrence of this suicide, which is. Also, it went on to say for abetment, there must be proof of incitement, and it is this incitement which needs to be proved categorically for a conviction. The Supreme Court in September last year, 2021, had said you cannot be convicted without positive act of instigation for abetment to suicide. There needs to be a positive act of instigation which needs to be then proved. Madras High Court in 2018 had said someone saying go and die does not amount to abetment or suicide. As clear as that. Someone who comes and says go and die, even that will not amount to abetment or suicide. You have the Bombay High Court in October 2020 which said extramarital affair is not sufficient to constitute abetment of suicide. Because this, remember, is important, even though this was not a case of extramarital affair, but allegations by the mother of Tunisha is that there was another woman whom Sheezan was seeing, over which he had broken up with Tunisha. So the court themselves have said extramarital affair too is not sufficient to constitute abetment. There are several such inside tracks that we are getting for you, but let's go across to try and put a perspective to this entire case. Tarun Sharma is joining us. He's Tunisha's lawyer. Also, Swapnil Kothari, a senior lawyer, joining us on the show. There's Athar Siddiqui as well, Tunisha's co-star, also one of the friends of Tunisha. But Tarun Sharma, I'm going to come to you first. We're just explaining to our viewers what really abetment to suicide is, the legal precedents which are there. You must explain to us. Do you think you have a good enough case against Sheezan given the long list of criteria which are required for abatement to suicide?
Definitely the ingredients which you have been in your news, you have been discussing about the ingredients which would be very necessary for a case to make up and for me to get on the trial procedure. But at the initial stage where we are at this point of time, we are at the stage of remand, where it would be very important to see the prima facie case which has been made out by the mother in her FIR, and all the circumstances, witnesses and the evidence which is coming one by one in the 4 days of the investigation of the remand. And today was the 5th day when he was brought before the honorable court. At that point of time, even the investigation agency has come to a point in the conclusion that there was an extra affair which was, and where the accused itself have deleted all the chats. It's not in respect of one chat, but there are around 300 pages of chats which have been investigation agency have retrieved from from his cell phones and from the other various social media accounts which were held by the Shehzaz. So at this stage it is very important for me to make out a prima facie case, to see that the accused, at least we get a time to investigate, he is in a custody, and to prove a case which has been filed by the mother of the Tunisha comes into a stage where the contents which are read in the FIR comes to going on all the news channels and the various other ways. But it was on 16/12 when there was a panic attack which took place,
yes,
where she was taken to the hospital. After being in hospital, at the hospital, it was Shehzad's mother and the sister who were there at the hospital. They have told her to come back to the hospital, from hospital to home. It was they, though both the mother and the daughter have forced this Tunisha to go back to the home. Okay. If that would be the case at that day itself, I would be saying if she was kept at the hospital, she would have been treated. But their mother and daughter of accused have forced the Tunisha to go back to the home. That we will talk to the Shehzad and we will see to it whatever Shehzad has been doing with you shall be not repeated. And what we have been talking about the ingredients, I would be saying in instigating someone to do something and to provoke is one of the ingredients, and also one of the ingredients of 306 is to get irritated. Though there was a breakup of both the Shehzaz and Tunisha, but Tunisha has to face the consequence of being with him on the set every day for 12 hours.
And
so
that's the mental anguish
there were
as well.
scenes which were there were words with the conversation.
So what was the relationship like? It's important for us to perhaps try and understand that, because the case of Tunisha's family is that there was duress, mental pressure, which led up to that unfortunate step that she took in her life. Athar Siddiqui is also here with us. Athar, you were close to Tunisha. Did she speak about her relationship with Sheezan to you? Was she under stress? Was she in a happy relationship?
I had worked with her before 10th of December. That was the last time I have gone to the set. So till that time, what I have seen was everything was going smoothly. The relationship was nice. Like I always have seen. They were talking, they were chatting, they were roaming around, they were having lunch together. Most of the time they spent time together in Sheezan's room. That room was just next to my room. So I have never seen kind of disturbed relationship. The things which you can say or you can make out that something is not going well between both of them. Till 10th of December. Because afterwards, I'm hearing that on 16th she had a anxiety attack. So not aware of that because I'm not going to the set. My track was not working that time. That was not on the air. Okay. That's why.
But Athar, any time that you may have heard Tunisha complain about her being suspicious about how loyal Sheezan would have been, or mentioning any other woman in his life?
No, I've never heard anything from her, or even she was the type of girl who usually doesn't discuss her private life with anybody. I don't think so she has discussed her private life on set with co-actors. We usually discuss our work stuff, our dialogues and all. We used to rehearse, we used to crack jokes, we used to talk how we have achieved, how much we have achieved in the industry, what are the steps we have taken to reach this level, and all these stuff. But she was not that kind of a girl who will discuss with everybody about her relationship. That.
But Athar, what was their relationship like on the set? Were they seeing each other? Was it being made apparent that they were going around? Was there any kind of friction that you may have ever seen?
What I have seen till the time I was shooting was everything was very nice between both of them. Even Tunisha was the person who introduced me to Sheezan for the very first time. I was having longer conversation on the set with Tunisha. So suddenly I told her that, do you know, I've worked with Sheezan before this also. It's been almost like 4 years. We worked on a different show. So might be Sheezan don't remember me. So Tunisha then said, Sheezan is the kind of person who never, you can say, he always remember the person whom he met only for the one time. Whether he has met you once or twice, he will never, you can say, he will always remember you. So next day, Sheezan came to me and he said, Athar, hi, I remember you, yeah. So suddenly I saw Tunisha's face and Tunisha was smiling. So it was clear that she told Sheezan that Athar is that and just go and have an introduction with him. So it was like that what I was assuming about this whole matter is that whatever thing happening in Tunisha's life, Tunisha is discussing that with Sheezan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were very close. So you're saying that she was a very personal kind of a person, may not have openly talked about it. Swapnil Kothari,
especially her personal life.
About her personal life. She was very private about that. Swapnil Kothari, we are seeing these pieces now come together, snippets of information. Now we know that there are mobile data, about 300 to 300 pages, which were deleted mysteriously by Sheezan. Why would that happen? Now the case is being built that he is accused today of abatement to suicide. Is that not one of the toughest charges to prove? It has a conviction rate of roughly 0.7%.
Meghna, what's key here is that firstly you establish whether it was a suicide or a murder. I believe the way the investigation is going and the way the evasive answers that are coming out from Sheezan and the fact that his custody has been extended today clearly indicates that the cops need to investigate this further. To drum it up as a suicide and to press with 306 is a little bit, I think, premature. You need to really let the cops do their job first and try to come to a definitive conclusion that whether it is a suicide, because one of the most important ingredients of Section 306 is that there has to be a suicide that should have taken place. The second point is that there has to be a proximate cause from the conduct of the accused, which leads to the abatement and which is called as the abatement to suicide, so which leads to suicide. Now, it's very difficult for Section 306 for anybody to start off a trial is okay. It's fine. You can start with the trial. You can say that Section 306 has been put on by the cops, so let's go ahead with the trial. But when it comes to the proving stage, when you prove it at a trial stage, when you start examining witnesses, why witnesses? I would examine Mr. Sheezan himself. It's very hard to say. He could say, yes, I had multiple affairs. There is a Bombay High Court judgment which protects me. They're saying that an extramarital affair, here I was not even married. You could say that 300 other defenses could come up and say that I have abused her in the worst form possible. I have clearly created hell for her. But that does not mean I have told her also 10 times that go ahead and die. He'll say all the things that are there, in the previous case laws, but still you cannot haul him up for Section 306. So I think to start off with Section 306, Meghna, is fine. You want to, put that guy in custody, you want to start off the trial, and it's obviously Section 306 punishable with 10 years. So you'll have to start the trial at Court of Sessions. Once you do that, it's fine. But then thereafter, if some great evidence comes through, then to convert 306 into 302 is yet another task, and to embark on that again. Because then again, the issues of double jeopardy and all of those things could be argued by defense lawyers. So you need to tread slowly, go cautiously. You've seen several cases. Let's take Sushant's case itself. I mean, you start off with suicide to Jia Khan. I mean, what is all this? We both know, you and I both know people who are aware in the know that, those are definitely not suicides. Now, any which ways, regardless of that fact, I don't want to cite those as precedents. I want to take this as an individual case, standing on its own legs, looking at the whole surrounding circumstances. I don't like to make it easy for the cops here and say, yeah, drum it up as suicide.
You're making it very interesting, Swapnil Kothari, because you are alleging that there is more than perhaps what meets the eye. Tarun Sharma, is that something that the family is also worried that it could not be merely a case of suicide? There could be more than what really meets the eye, Tarun Sharma. What is the family thinking?
The family take on this is very clear from the day one, that it's not only a case which has to be looked in respect of suicide or abatement to suicide. Contents which have been raised from the various ways, from the various other politicians, even the political peoples have raising the voice in respect of whether the angle of love jihad has to be seen, whether an angle of murder has to be seen. Because what I have been aware, I don't think so everybody is aware also, that after a suicide, the Tunisha was taken to an hospital which was more than 50 minutes away from the set. And even the video which was viral, we can see the body of Tunisha has been carried by Sheezan itself.
Yes, we have that video. We'll try and play that out.
Why was 50 minutes delay which has taken place for a body to? 50 minutes delay from a body to reach. When somebody have taken such serious steps, why was not a local doctors at the nearest place was taken to her? That has to be answered by them.
Those are very important, relevant points, which I'm sure will come up later in this trial stage as well. But Adar Siddiqui, if you can explain, because you are part of that set as well. So you know where it is located. How far are doctors and hospitals from where they were actually being taken? About 50 minutes away is what is being alleged.
Yeah, the set is very, very far from the city. It's the outskirts of, you can say, Mumbai. It's not even Mumbai. So from Naigaon, it's not even Naigaon.
Okay.
It's outskirts of that. So from Naigaon, it will usually take approximately 20 minutes to reach the set by your own vehicle.
Okay.
And the type of place where the set was, you'll not find any conveyance. You'll not find anything. There are hardly traffic lights in the night. If you roam around at around 9 o'clock in the night or 8 o'clock in the night, you'll not see anything. You'll not find any conveyance.
So those are also interesting aspects which are now being looked into by the police who are probing this case of the Tunisha death case. Now, we can't preempt as to whether it was suicide, whether it was murder. There are several versions doing the round. We are calling it the Tunisha mystery here on Times Now. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Hopefully, there are going to be soon more answers than there are questions. With that, a short break. Don't go anywhere.